Islamic architecture is a manifestation of civilization that marked the history of Islam, and even the current age of Islamic architecture remains a symbol to the greatness of this civilization and humanity. This architecture began with the construction of mosques, and then extended to include schools and even castles, forts, and palaces. This demonstrates the interest of Islamic civilization in all spheres of economic, political, and social activity. Islamic architecture brought together various other forms of art, and the Greeks believed that Islamic architecture is the mother of the arts. Professional, individual tastes and desires contributed to the formation of the Islamic architectural installations, as well as inherited traditions and the construction materials available in each region. All this has led to the existence of numerous art schools within the scope of Islamic art. Islamic architecture was originally simple in construction as a profession in its most basic form, then evolved, giving rise to a range of different architectural arts. Islamic architecture is a reflection of the hopes and aspirations of Muslims and scientific development and imagination high, and also social philosophy. Islamic architecture took advantage of techniques and traditional styles that were prevalent in the construction of buildings and installations. In the first period of Islamic architectural school, an integrated technical school of thought crystallized, carrying a homogeneous identity of the Muslim countries as a whole. It then became difficult to know the assets of this new architectural school, nature, installations, and function, which came in response to the needs of the Islamic faith and Arab culture, the most important reasons for the emergence of personal excellence and originality. In general, the arts are considered an important aspect of the dominant culture in a community. Particularly the Islamic art is one of the purest and most accurate expressions of Islamic civilization. Islamic art is considered one of the greatest art produced by the world's civilizations in the ancient and modern, and there is multiple types of these arts that stained the Islamic character and characterized the Islamic civilization from the others, including architecture and design, the Arabic calligraphy art. Domes were built for the first time in Asia, then this kind of construction moved to the Persian civilization and subsequently to the Greeks and the Romans. This began the Golden Age Muslim engineers in Islamic civilization, where the Muslims were able to develop forms of the dome, vary the arch shape, and the materials used in construction. There are domes in every major architectural art in all human civilizations, with the exception of the ancient Egyptian civilization, which is characterized by building the pyramids instead of domes. Muslim architects were proficient in the construction of the massive domes. They founded complex construction studies, which are based on construction shells analysis methods. Of domes, construction is entirely dependent on the physical analysis and complex mathematics. The first dome was built in the Islamic civilization is the Dome of the Rock Mosque in Jerusalem, which was built by Abdul Malik bin Marwan, 688–691 AD. Domes are the most important aspects of the development of Islamic civilization. The architecture has evolved considerably and took geometric design different forms. In some cases, the domes have become landmarks, attracting tourists from other countries, as is the case in the Sultan Ahmed Mosque in Istanbul. Domes in Islamic architecture are known for their aesthetic brilliance. Islamic architecture distinguished itself with the beauty of the dome, in addition to the distinctive shape of the building and using other elements of beauty, both inside and outside of the dome. With the development of Islamic architecture through successive civilizations, domes have become more complex and weight. The Islamic architecture confirmed that they are able to adapt domes by leaving spaces between the arches. This new design allows sunlight to pass through the spaces between the arches and light the dome without weakening the construction. Muslims developed the dome's technique clearly, where Muslims engineers designed in the Mamluk age a new design's form of the domes by changing the external arch shape in Islamic architecture. The domes characterized of the decoration and external graphics that characterized of all other domes in other cultures, as well as a lot of the literature using the Arabic font. Architects also used botanical drawings and technical carvings using symmetrical geometric lines that formed the identity of Islamic architecture, whether inside or outside the dome. Architects also had to convert the square edge of the walls to the octagonal shape, then construct the 8 columns based on the shoulders and converge at one point, and this is an innovative Islamic way. Certainly for architects, using wood is easier than the stone when they build the domes, but it is weaker and less durable. Usually wooden domes clad the outside with a layer of lead sheets for protection from weather, while a taxi from the inside with a layer of plaster to get the white color inside the dome. Also, in the modern architecture, it can be covered with insulation resistant to climate and environment changes. Also, small domes show the natural color of the wood, which gives a sense of life and renewal. Wood is the raw material for the construction of huge domes, such as the Dome of the Rock Mosque. Because of the availability of timber in these areas, with the passage of time, Islamic architecture used more sustainable materials to keep these domes that make up religious symbols in some cases. This characterized of rigidity and resistance of external weather changes, and also gives a sense of luxury and originality. Muslims architects have resorted to solve engineering issues, transition from a square shape to the circular, with the use of cross vaults to build domes. They used solutions to transform the building of square or rectangular structures to circle through the so-called spherical triangles, the Roman way, or curvature of the ends, the Persian method, or convert the square edge of the walls to an octagonal form. Then build columns based on 8 shoulders, converged at one point, an innovative Islamic way, and this was the methods in the construction of stone or old brick domes. Generally based on the construction of a steel structure for the dome, and then poured in cement mixed with plaster, when it dries, with a goal in the durability and cohesion, and by these molds in which the cement poured for the construction of the dome. It was possible to control the size of the dome and its shape and durability to a large extent. In modern architecture, it can also be the construction of steel dome structures and installation of glass panels required forms, and so to get natural lighting during the day, as well as to get to the aesthetic features to fit modern architectural designs. Recently, domes began to appear competitive domes of steel and cement, which are domes made of fiberglass yarns of glass, and the advantage that they allow the passage of light to the inside of the dome without allowing the air temperature or coolness of influence, as well as lightweight with durability made, and the ability to choose freely chosen form fully.